The Economic Forum, a brand new program coming to you from Star Television every Sunday at 7 to 8 p.m. This is a program designed to demystify complex, topical, and confusing issues which trouble the minds of the masses and give headaches to the very top cadre of society. Star Television has identified the need for a comprehensive understanding and the need to create a platform for the ordinary man to understand complex concepts to do with the economy, monetary issues that impact our economic livelihood. Issues like how we can understand the impact of foreign inflation on our budgets. Remember, the better informed the public, the more prudent the decision the public would make into retirement. Join Abdul Rahman Kamara on Star Television, Channel 21, every Sunday at 7 to 8 p.m. with a team of experts on the program Economic Forum.
Fabulous. We start late due to some small technical hitch, but they are back today with the program Economic Forum for calm, tell viewership about important things that we brought around the economy. We remember say a couple of weeks back we been talk about financial programming with my guest now at the studio with Dr. Ekundaya Walter Gilpin, Dr. Telfamule Madu. Okay. Doctor been there with me a couple of weeks back where we be talk about financial programming. But today principally they look at what in Bookman refer to as adjustment process the country adopted after shocks that we get. But by way of recapitulation, Doctor, you go take me back to just a brief summary of what's in financial programming there about the importance about it.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, for we able to go back and revise with the people then. See this program and I follow we try for, demystify or make things easy. Because financial program, a lot of econometrics they a lot of statistics they but what people they see in the front, a very interesting picture, and in nice let the public they know what in the government they do, what in the economists and they do, what in the research department they do at the central bank, Ministry of Finance, and at the other think tanks. So financial programming, as I've been saying the last time, like a program, a health check of the country, how they perform, especially the economy, you see. And the main aim of that data for design macroeconomic policies, we're aimed at achieving macroeconomic stability. And you want for ask now, what is macroeconomic stability? Okay, so remember,
so getting towards that we normally can confuse micro and macro.
Macro, yes. The micro. Like the small,
okay.
Like the household, the individual put together. The macro, now we take all things together on the aggregate level and the macro. See? So we'll look at the financial program, look at the aggregate, the bigger picture, the broader one. Okay? That's at the household level. So we put all together for come to the macro. And stability in our situation outside the economy they at a desirable manner. Outside one time for the everything they go fine. Prices are stable, exchange rate stable, inflation rate stable, the goods are available, the economy, the consumer that they produce, production they go on, GDP they grow. They say it's stable, so you can then determine, you can predict. You can even make informed decisions. People will go for say, let's save this money back. I'm not afraid say inflation will come up and eat the real value of the money. Person go say, okay, let put this money in loans. I don't say when I have to go change them to $2, the dollar don't go far. So if you get the situation where everything is stable, then you get macroeconomic stability. Then in a way the economy is what we call resilient to shocks. That means say even when something come, maybe an exogenous shock, that means say something will happen in another country where they trade with, then they don't go so impact you too much. So it's resilient to shock. And it's not likely say it will go into a problem. Or we call an economic crisis. And you guys begin, what's in an economic crisis? Okay, so we'll learn small stuff for people. Well, an economic crisis now basically the opposite of economic stability. In other words, prices and go up, inflation. Today go buy bread 5,000, tomorrow go buy 6,000. Next month you go buy them, they don't go 8,000. Prices then they out of control. As they can say, they're running away. As in they run away, they go up. You know, then you will say, okay, we need to forget the price stability. What do you call it? Price
Primary
control?
school economics, when I say runaway inflation.
Exactly. Sometimes it can be caused by importation. You import the inflation come out from overseas. Something that also can create. You see, so you have to know what's the cause this inflation. So push inflation or pull inflation, all that thing that we'll talk about. Then they can lead also sometimes you can see the exchange rates are not stable. You know, the financial system is shaky, and the economy, they will do what we call overheats. That means they will consume more than the means for produce. The overheats. So all that they give a situation when the economy not stable. Okay? Then you go ask, what can happen inside the crisis?
And before ask what is happening inside the crisis, it becomes so compounding as a result of we not to a producing country.
Yeah, we know more or less we only do like maybe the raw materials. You know, they add value, you know, to the end product. So in other words,
You get IQ refund, price taker,
the value chain, then we also price taker because we don't pull in the raw material sold, especially across the produce, you know, they will tell you how much the world market is for.
Okay.
So you can say, well, give me this, you know, this is world market taking. So you know to add value along the value chain, so yeah, a price taker. You see? So it becomes inside the crisis, it's hard to make a decision. People are beginning for hold. They go hold the currency, they go hold the rest, they go hide that. You know, they're able for subdue that.
For create artificial scarcity.
Yes. Or maybe it's even scarce, but they now want more money from them. So then they aggravate the scarcity. You see? So inside economic instability, when the economy not do fine, everybody's worse off. Even the big loan sharks then, the one they hold themselves are worse off. Because themselves not get certainty anymore in the behavioral patterns, and they get certainty. Everybody's worse off. So it's in the general good for let everybody become better off. Then what you need for do now, for find a way to find out what in the cause this instability and whose policy choice the government will take for stabilize them, and how the banks themselves can come in and help for stabilize the economy.
Okay. Well, doctor, today they principally for talk about the adjustment process we a country can adopt after the shock there. Well, adopted process in large measure you can say now in the way that they introduce after financial crisis, way that they fine tune for address the remaining risk them.
Yes.
But before we come to that, we can able to understand the nature of the crisis where can often lead to the shock.
Well, you know, say last week, a couple of weeks ago, start off with a shock in the current account. You get a deficit. Okay, you get a huge deficit. Now, you need to know why the deficit happened and who say it come out, the how what come. So in the story where we look at yesterday, we will say, okay, economic instability, you get three things in one. You get factors that were external to the economy, where the economy can't control. Okay, like probably external inflation. In the case of the example we looked last week, that be in terms of the price shock. So the price of the commodities there where the country they sell, like Sierra Leone, in a highly commodity induced country, they sell, we produce them, sell we minerals them, the price drop for that. So then they call them external factors. Then get another one they call intrinsic to the economy. Okay, there are things them we can't change all of a sudden, or something we will change but only in the medium term. Like the age distribution, okay, of the country. If you get more people in way now, old people then, the working population will be old and they don't get much strength for work hard. You get something they call state of economic development. If things then do chaka in the country, things they not organized well, they go say, okay, we know they grow that much economic development, so we therefore now put in place a policy for stabilizer.
Now I can call sluggish growth.
Exactly, so sluggish growth. At the same time, sometimes you even look at a retarded growth. Alright, so economic development not go much. The other one are the available natural resources. These are things that probably you cannot change in the short term. Although in some side then you will say, okay, we will make fish farms. Like we say, you know, get better water will make fish farms. You make oyster farms, we for create the own fish ponds inside the country and you can feed your population by that. So you have to think of alternative measures and where you go take. And the third one is an economic policy, or what's in economics and called levers, like gear. We will shift for Lego for use and for positively affect the economy. Alright, economic policies then. It's gonna be either monetary policy or gonna be fiscal policy. Alright, then it has to go up for Lego give you structural changes then. Okay? And so the structural changes then will be like things that way will impact the laws and regulations then where the country therefore use for strengthening itself. Okay, for example, if people in the hold money, foreign currency, you put a law in place to go say, okay, anybody who want for import, and let you tell us what you get for import. Show the but when you import and what give the money, show say you actually bring them in before you give more money. These are rules and regulations what they put. These are structural policies then. So that thing they are what they look at for adjust the economy. And now that we will try to see what happened when we see that country last time we get a terms of trade shock. Terms of trade, I'm telling you say that the relative price between import and export. So since then they may actually go down. So it should say the price who they get from them and who they sell, it go down. So government get for find a way around that and now the series of adjustments then with the system take now we'll look at it.
Now that we normally refer to as the needs and rationale for adjustment lending.
Yeah, I mean it could be because when you do the financial programming now, they define that all these needs then. Sometimes we'll get adjustment lending, sometimes we'll get adjustment planning, sometimes we'll get things that for do exchange rate and realignment, sometimes we'll get things that for do with expenditure controls, you get things that for do with spending, spending and expenditure, things with revenue growth.
Trade reforms.
Yes, trade reforms. Ideally now if you're not a price taker, only mainly a producer, you do try for add your value chain or try for also for switch and see if you can also go to another method of adding income. For example, we all talk good English and Sierra Leone. If you get good electricity, good education, you get infrastructure, you can become maybe an offshore, then call centers then. An offshore call center that can bring money stuff into the country. So alternative ways and of course also about tourism. Try to get more high value tourism, but for build up the enabling backbone for this run. These are all the policies then the government can put in place to stabilize our country.
Doctor, the question now is how bank adjustment programs can affect the overall economic performance of a country.
When you say bank, you mean the commercial banks?
Yes, the commercial bank.
Well, the commercial bank, of course, will respond to government overall policy. Okay, one way how we can do now one between intermediation. We do it with lending. We can do it with credit to the private sector. Now, if we increase credit to the private sector, that means we also increase M2. The money circulation will grow. M2 grow, they affect velocity depending on how GDP, the size of the GDP. So government want to let velocity go up or let velocity come down, we can help with that by credit to the private sector. Another way how we can do all this sometimes the interest rate, not will be left to commercial banks alone now, interest rate and adjustment. Okay, so if you get higher interest rate on the savings below can't save. The higher interest rate on lending people they will not lend. Depends on how you want to trigger the economy. And basically financial intermediation is a big area outside the banks and the government. Okay, for pushing off the circulation of money or for increase the circulation of money. So it depends on whether you get an expansionary monetary policy or a contractionary monetary policy. Depending on what the government give the wink for, then the banks themselves will respond accordingly.
We get anything where you go illustrate for actually throw more understanding in the things that we will talk today.
The adjustment is there.
Yes.
Yes. Remember last week we look at this country.
Mm-hmm.
We look at different macro accounts and look at the real sector, look at the government sector, look at the monetary sector, the government sector of course, not the fiscal sector, look at the external sector, BOP, then look at the exchange rate. So I will show now statistics about how the government will adjust. Initial response, sometimes it was just like, let's say, how the economy respond for itself. After all, government puts in adjustment policies for see how best we can do that. Okay, so let's just take a quick one rundown on some definitions before I go back again here. And we talk say financial programming, they diagnose the crisis in the economy, just like when you go to doctor, they tell you say this, that typhoid, or this, that your own problem. Then this you get for do now for correct landing. So in the economy, look at first and say, this problem that's an exogenous shock. That means they come up from outside. This is not poor planning inside the economy. It's not banks then probably they did wayward lending. Or sometimes bank loans went bad, but to even afford because of the sectoral shift in the economy. Sometimes some disaster come or some kind of problem come with the main export and industry then. So the loans to the banks then get them for pay. So it can also be either the bank's fault or it could be the economy fault. Or it's just like what they call the hand of God. Sometimes there is a landslide in the area outside the big machinery or the big family. Those things can happen. Then once you don't do that diagnosis today, you have a project, what do you expect the economy for like in the future? Given what you see now. So if what you see remains in place, how the economy will turn a few years down the line? We don't know, I think, okay, with all this I know, this kind of policy I will design, you see, for the able for stabilize this thing as well. So we looked at what we call a macro shock last week. Okay. So before we do that, we make small definitions. I want to go over the definitions again. So people never understand when they were missing the last one. First of all, I define what is terms of trade. The ratio of the index of a country's export prices to the index of its import prices. So you see the ratio of the price of the export, price of the import, now reflecting in terms of trade. So depending on how they move, you know whether a price shock from exports until the price go down, or whether it's also a price boost, whether you had an increase in price.
If you're not favorable, not a shock.
If not favorable, then likely it's a shock, depending on the extent to which you will see there the cascade through all the different sectors, as we showed last time. It can be a shock, especially if it was not planned for. Then the GDP deflator, then an implicit price for GDP, and a measure of the price level of all new and domestically produced goods in the economy, final goods and services. Price of newly produced goods and services, a measure of that. Okay. Then GDP, of course, stands for gross domestic product, but the final of all final goods and services produced within the economy. So kind of just pricing how much you produce. And the current account, not so long we go open a bank, so they get savings and current account. Yeah. So I want people to understand that not only savings and current account when you open a bank. Okay. These are the balance of all payments where they measure the inflows and outflow of goods and services within the country they give out, or what they receive in income, the goods so they give out,
through export and import.
Yeah, so if you send 5 workmen for go work na China, China send 100 workmen for go work na, then the value of that service the cost of the service and the balance of payment they add, they put them all together. Okay, transfer payment stuff where the person don't work, the transfer money go, all these things also can come up. Alright, and the main components of the current account are the trading goods weighing at the visible balance. The other one are the capital account. Okay? The capital account, they record the net change in the assets that I told you bring money to the country, the ability to the country get for pay for during a period of time. You always record them over a period of time. Say, okay, at the end of the year, for 1 year. You can always get something quarterly, something annually. So that one day we'll see how the government record them, but it has to be within a period of time. So you will get a definitive point. We will point say, as of December 31st, this was my balance. Okay? January, this time my balance, that is the capital account. So if you look at all of them here now, we're able to understand exactly within that the GDP deflator, the terms of trade, current account, capital account. Inflation looking at the rising price and kind of thing. Now, let us see how this country been get in crisis. Remember, we looked at this last week. Okay, if I can just stand up for a quick while. You see, say we look at the 1, 2, 3, 4 sectors and exchange rate. Okay, the real economy. Okay, that the quick look at sometimes the GDP, the value of the production within the country, within the produce. The GDP deflator, and at the relative price of all new prices and all new products and the inflation rate. So this is a look at the pricing of the production within the economy. Because the real economy it's a misnomer because the real doesn't really mean price, but that's what it is. Then look at the central government, kind of the revenue and expenditure side of things. Look at your overall balance. Then your money and credits. Okay, this will look at your broad money, that now you currency in circulation. You add times the saving deposit down there, now you broad money called an M2. Okay, all the money will they circulate. So we as a bank can try to see for all the M2, well, how much of that we will get as time and savings deposit. We want to bring the money come into the bank. Okay? And then now the impact on velocity. We have GDP over M2. Alright? Then you get credit to the economy. This will be how much money they lend to the economy. And then the net international reserve position, how much money the government gets in foreign currency, we don't keep overseas. Yeah? Then these are the BOP. This is now how will they relate the economy to the rest of the world. Alright, the external sector. Then they look at your exports, your imports, your terms of trade, and your current account balance. If this has to be in deficit, then definitely you have a problem on your reserves or on capital for coming and they solve current account deficit problem. But we'll talk about that. Last one will be exchange rates. So look at all of these things that we see last week say we may get a terms of trade shock. Alright? We will see there was a deficit here, of -9. In the current account, you for arrive say it was actually a terms of trade shock. All right, but now we don't see the shock for last week. We see say indeed this country had a crisis from the terms of trade. We went down by in percentage change, went down by 22%.
So understandably,
Okay.
the crisis as a result of the terms of trade.
Yes. Now the question you ask is how the economy respond to this, okay? And whose policy government put in place for help for solve this? So I'm going to go over this because we not done last week. All of these ones are they come out to the actual adjustment. So we'll see the adjustment process. All this we did on last week, so I'm not going over that again. Okay. Okay, we'll just come quickly to here. Now the initial response and the adjustment. This is like party cycle, like most of all point analysis. So when there's a problem in the economy, then they watch out for see what can happen, what can the government do, for save this situation.
And the country economy don't sick.
Yes, it don't sick now with injection we forget. So what's the initial? So first, the initial response on the year where the shock happened, how the economy respond. Then after that, the policy where the government put for adjust for this. Now continue.
Yeah, no continue.
Okay. So we they use the same set of data where we used the last time. We look at 2016 response. Okay? From 2016 the crisis may come. Alright? So what was the response in 2016? We use the same economic indicators we use for the crisis. And we use the same four sectors: the real economy, central government, money and credit, balance of payment, and exchange rate. Let's just look first of all at the year 2016 and see what was the initial response. So let's take first the balance of payment. What happened here? Okay, in this instance, we see the exchange rate depreciation minus means a depreciation. Okay, it was very marginal, 0.4. If you remember, we see something may happen to that economy day when we get the terms of trade shock. Then we go to the reserves and then fund the shock, because this terms of trade shock will be a price reduction. So the country not earn as much from the exports as we're earning. So one way they save a current account deficit, either you go into the reserves or capital inflows coming to the country. So because the government will go into the reserves, there's no pressure on the foreign exchange. Okay, they go to reserves and they fund the economy. So you see the depreciation was rather marginal. Okay.
When situation can force government for actually go into the reserve and touch, that's not the last resort?
It could be, but I mean, when you have a current account crisis, it's either reserves or you get an inflow of capital. Or maybe the IMF can give some money.
Okay.
So if you have reserves, that's
For cushion the effect.
Yes. And if that is not addressed, this will get for runaway. This will get worse off. Okay? If it's not addressed, it's going to come, but it's just going to go worse off. And that can lead to a crisis. So here we see that happen. Then, of course, we see the exports also go down. Percentage change of export value went down because we realized it was a price shock. Imports, they also go down. Because we never afford much of imports again. The trade balance as a percentage of GDP go down. So we see this. Alright. So the first period in 2015 was quite a bigger depreciation. 2016 depreciation was rather minimal. So that you can see. Alright. So this is consistent with the drop in reserves. But they don't really show that. Now I make that particular depreciation is not that strong because government funded, then fund the losses. And of course the imports, you see the imports kind of go down. Okay, these are the initial response, the 2016 response. And the exports, percentage change of export value, went down by 30.7%. That's how the economy responded initially. Under the balance of payment, that's the external sector. Let's look now at the government side of things. How did it respond to that crisis?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First thing that happened was expenditure. Okay, expenditure as a percentage of GDP, it dropped a bit. Alright? It dropped a bit. But mainly, what's that it dropped? It dropped more on capital expenditure, not as much on current expenditure. So capital expenditure, most of the government capital expenditure would have dropped because they get for curtail the expense, okay, going forward. So that now for number 2.
The capital expenditure and mainly expenditures on what?
Mainly expenditures on capital items,
Okay.
machinery, government investment, they can attend it.
Okay.
Government will cut them down now first.
Okay.
You know, road maintenance, road construction,
Construction of
you know,
roads.
let's say
Still not put a stop
no, hold that first.
until we get a
Say we get
recovery.
shrink again, yeah, then we'll say, okay, we'll come up. Okay? So that was more or less on the central government side. So let's look at the money and credit. Money and credit. What happened here? International reserves, remember saying it was like 15, it go down to like 11. So that day, really, you're talking about billions of US dollars. Billions. So it took almost like from 15 to 11, $4 billion gave for it to fund that particular price drop in the commodity prices. Alright? So it hit on the reserves. As I said, either the reserves go down or capital comes in when you have the current account deficit. Yeah? So credit to the private, credit to economy, it's a go down small, but not too much. Okay? And what happened after that? They took velocity. Remember, I'm telling you, velocity is GDP over M2. Credit to the economy, they affect broad money.
And the money circulation.
Yeah, if you drop it, it does affect broad money. So with that day, when GDP comes down, then you find out say velocity self go down. So velocity went down here. So they see from the price shock how that affect the different sectors in the economy. Okay. And now still let's look at the adjustment process for the government put in. Alright. Now that was the first initial response. Let's look at the adjustment process that the government put in. Okay, how the government adjusts to these problems now. This will be now this 2017 rule. Okay. So the first thing we'll look at the adjustment measures that the government take. We use the same economic indicators, we use the same sectors, and it's the same data. But now looking at the last year now to see how best the government do it. But before we do that, let's just say the government realizes now, say there's a shock. Okay? A shock in the external sector will lead to a deficit in the current account. Alright, the current account is very important, as I said before. If you need for correct that particular deficit, you need for deep into reserves, you need to have capital inflows. Alright? So the situation could be dangerous and unsustainable. Because the government will continue for deep into international reserves. It will deplete itself. Okay? So we need for no say it's important for the government react. And that's what the government was thinking of now. So he said, why do we have to do this adjustment? Because if you continue for finance with deficit by digging into reserves, if reserves not to grow, then it just like if you get you back half. We don't keep an account to keep another box notes. And then
Every day they go there.
you go there, you know the replenisher. Eventually probably has to happen. And the same thing will happen to the government. So the government now needs to make assumption that if it continues with this deficit, the country faces an uncertain future. And this can even happen to countries like Salone. Reserves go drop to zero. You're not getting for funding game pass will go big now to all over the world for letting give you small thing for help. So the government had to make a decision. In this case, what decision did the government make? What decision did the government make? Now, there you go. Let's start again. If we take again from the BOP, 2017. Now we look at the last column here. Let's say here, they decide, say, then depreciate the currency. Okay? Now there's a decision, let us depreciate the currency. Alright, almost like a 40% depreciation. We dropped from minus 4, went down to minus 13.6%. Went down. Serious depreciation. Now when you depreciate, you get various things that we do. You want to make like your exports then become cheaper and imports then become more expensive.
That's not the aim.
That's the aim, one of the main aims of depreciation. So you go for sell more and buy less. Okay? So they depreciated. When they depreciated, what happened next? You find out say imports dropped significantly. Okay, they dropped because they don't depreciate. The exports were they on the next row. Okay, imports dropped minus 20% from 6.8. Then the exports went up from that depreciation. We are thinking now, what thing will make the export go up so much? The value of the exports go up so much. Okay, probably there is something external also will not impact this particular transaction, but we'll see as we go along whether anything external happen. Remember, we'll talk about factors then. We can be one external factors. In the external factor, the price drop and then be impact this economy before. Probably now, I mean, the price is changed. You don't know, but we'll see as we go along. Okay. So under this particular balance of payment one, we see the exchange rate was depreciated. Significant policy, they depreciated the exchange rate. The imports went down. The exports value went up. Okay. The trade balance improved. From 15% of GDP to 25% of GDP. Okay, and the current account balance also we can see it went from this minus 8.5% deficit, almost 9, to a surplus of 7.6. So we see the economy is working now based on the adjustment. One, the government did was an exchange rate policy, then depreciate exchange rates. Let's see now what they did under the central government also. What they do with their expenses. Okay, all right. So first of all, we see say the expense. They dropped their expenditure, okay, marginally here from 35 to 33, okay, and then further on to 31. Then you see capital expense also went down more, all right, as a percentage of GDP, went down from 10.5 to 8.2. So then drop down the expenditure also, okay. And when they drop down the expenditure, say the overall balance is even improving here, okay. So in this case, revenue went up from 29 to 36. Expenditure went down from 35 to 31. Capital expenditure went further down from 10.5 to 8.2. So you see the government, they make decisions now for stabilize the economy again, looking on the government side of things. Okay. The next one here we have here is what happened now on the international reserve side. So we see we get a definite shift from 2016 when the reserve will now go down to 10.7. to 2017, the reserve don't come back up to 70.4. So government don't take money now, we don't get from the exports, but put back into the reserve position. So they took out the reserve, then they build up the reserve again. So the question for always there, they build up the reserve again in 2017. Credit to the private sector, it went down. Okay, because why? The government want for slow down. Or this is what the central banks have to do, the commercial banks have to do. Okay, 12 percentage change, you went down from 50% to 21.2. Then they also go down. As a result of that, the velocity come up a bit. Remember last time velocity went down to 3.2.2, it's come up a bit. And finally, broad money went down because credit to the private sector went down.
Doctor, quick one.
Yes.
How government can determine the reserve?
Reserve position?
Yes.
You normally they keep one for saying that I get reserve of X months in import. So you say 3 months import, 6 months import, then you rate them to the amount of import we get for do. So government will say, okay, I want to reserve will be 6 months imports. Cover. Alright, so I'm not saying me imports what they do for 1 month, like X billion of dollars. So I want to reserve will cover me 6 months. So they will get that as a target where they say, that will be my reserve position. It's a 6-month import cover. So the man can say 3 months import cover. So that's when they can determine how they go on for the reserve position day. Alright, by the amount of import cover what they want for do. Okay? Alright. So here again we see under the money and credit side, there are also some other changes. Now, last but not least, what are the results of the adjustment? The situation could have led to a serious misalignment of the economy if the government had taken a particular adjustment measures. So you see, the good thing is that somebody's thinking, we have to make an adjustment. We can for change the situation. We don't let our just go out of hand because I don't see the problem happen in that initial shock. So the economy adjusts itself, then the government take a response. So what were the results of this? We're coming again to look at the same economic indicators, 2017 adjustment outcomes. What happened after the adjustment? This is a beautiful part to see what happened. Okay, so we again look at the balance of payment. Okay, with terms of trade position, which was a minus 22, it's now 16.2. Okay, and percentage change improved. But what happened there? How how do we just make so much money out of our exports? We want to see what happened. Okay? Now here's the same information when we look at where the price shock may happen. At this point, the price shock may go down because we forget that terms of trade shock. But let's see what happened after the drop in the price. Now here's the catch. Immediately the price went up again. Almost immediately. It is not luck. This is the hand of God. It just found out almost immediately after this drop in price, the drop in price here, the price gone. So this possibly
like
impacts
a coincidence.
the terms of trade. Yes. You almost come back to Usai the day before it dropped. You see? So you find out now that the economy now, the price of the commodity with the export is come back higher on the market. So now for asking why on earth then did they depreciate? Who therefore foresee this? So immediately after a drop, price come up again. If they don't see that, they will not have done that depreciation. But they will not have known that. So then decide to say, let us depreciate anyway. Okay, which they did, but still the economy is now improving. So the terms of trade got better. Exports, okay, BOP, trade balance, percent of GDP, export percentage change over time, we realize say it also increased. So you see the impact of the adjustment. The terms of trade is better, export volume is better, the depreciation, which is the trigger of the adjustment, also remained high. So we see say there was a break from the crisis time to the adjustment time. Half of it is own efforts, half of it is luck. And that show an economy wherein policymakers think what to do when there's a crisis. How do we adjust when there's a crisis? And this is actually what they do. And we see a clear break where the economy begin for grow.
Again, them policies na officials, the Minister of Finance and the Bank of Salon, and they sit down together.
Ideally, yes, the monetary and the fiscal authorities. I mean, for make, inside the macro framework, and they always sit on the macro framework. Look at the real sector, central government, monetary and credit, balance of payment, and exchange rate. Those are the guys who look at them. You get the Economic and Policy Research Unit, you get the Bank of Salon Research Department, you get the Financial Stability Department. All these sectors sit down and think. They also get the external partners, like the IMF, who can't tell and say, make so. So they have the donor partners, development partners. They also come in and they do these things. Okay? So the next one is here is the money and credit. As I said before, the National Reserve position is much better. Everybody is happy. You don't get for capping hard, they don't restore their position back to 14 point something billion, which is good. Okay? Credit to private sector went down. Now they get a withdrawal and impact on money in circulation, and the finance abroad money also went down. On the government side, what happened? Revenue increased from 29.3% of GDP to 36.9%. So government is not taxing the tax when they get on the exports. It's grown again. Because one, the depreciation, they wanted to export more. At the same time, the price on the foreign market of the commodities went up. So the tax grew, revenue also grew. You find out say expenditure, then try for Kotilam. A lot of that happened on the capital expenditure side. But the most beautiful thing at the overall fiscal balance, you don't go back positive. From negative 4.2, you don't go positive again. That means the government imbalance between what they buy, expenditure, what they sell, what they receive money from taxation and all those things, you go in the favor of government again. The overall fiscal balance don't come back up. So you see the adjustment policy we then do is really, really good. Last one now, the real sector. Okay, so if you look here, we see say from this point, the deficit, current account deficit, you now get a surplus here. Okay, and the impact taken to this government side, we see the overall fiscal balance go up, we see say government revenue increase, we see say expenditure go down, we see say reserves come up again, and now we want to look at the real sector. So all sectors are impact from the policy decision when they make on the exchange rate. People like you grumble about the exchange rate depreciation, they say, it's going to be hard on the urban poor because the things prices go up inside the country as they import more. But in this case, you see them try for curtail the imports also because the import self will drop. But in some country, you get high propensity for import. You don't get choice. So you have to bring the rest. You have to bring petrol. You have to bring oil. You get to get for import. So in that moment, once they do the depreciation for make exports and grow up more, need for sell more, bring in a lot more money pack them into reserves, help for grow GDP in the economy, so the economy will be strong, resilient, and people will earn their salaries. Last one under the real sector. First of all, let us look what happened to inflation. Inflation remained relatively stable. Okay, but still it's in double digits. So we still say there's a structural problem with inflation inside this country. The policy not change inflation too much, but inflation remain double digit. Government get for look what's happening with inflation going forward. Okay, the other thing when you do now the GDP deflator, it went up because you get the push in the prices them of the commodities where they export. Also get the push from inflation, it affect the GDP deflator. Then you get the GDP in self, okay, it self grow from 2.1 to 2.9. And nominal GDP also grow significantly from minus 4.4 to 22.6.
You get any indicators where they prompt the government for suspect say some of them problems are duly occur?
Yeah, you can actually see really, you look at your statistics on a monthly basis. Okay, you can see say probably exports value don't begin for drop. You go on to know why is export value dropping. Is it because they sell more? Is it a drought? People they smuggle and go to another country. People they export they not report the property or at the price on the foreign market. So then they go look out what's in at the price in the foreign market. Look at the social side in the export. Let us see what is happening there, and from there you be able to make a decision. You see this inflation here, so it's just always it's still in double digits. Therefore, look why is inflation in that double digits? Is a push or pull inflation? Until where they come in where they import, they make the price go up. So these are the warning indicators where you can look at. I call them the suspect indicators where any government will look at. So in effect, because the government begin with a depreciation-led adjustment, you find out say all the different indicators there don't grow. This is now likely a real life example. In some instances, it may not work out well. You say, okay, you depreciate, and then you don't get a trigger from the external side for build up your exports. In this case, one market price go up for the commodities again, that was luck. Then the depreciation itself also kick in. So two things that we help this economy. One, with the external change in fortunes, and two, policy decision what they make for depreciate and put down the expenses, and then build up the reserves again, and then increase the revenue base. So it trigger onto all of the different sectors there. So from an initial terms of trade shock. Then what happened is that disasters are averted through the right policy choices and some luck with the exogenous variables on this economy.
Doctor, conclusively, the depreciation-led approach are the best in any case scenario, or it dependent upon the nature of the crisis?
So I won't say in any scenario, any one policy choice is the best.
It's not a one fits all.
No. You have to look at, okay, what thing we will try for do if things go like this or things go like that. And then you determine, okay, let's try first with the interest rate. Let's try secondly with exchange rate. Let's try thirdly maybe with how we can promote export diversification, how we improve exports. Let's try with an alternative things on the fiscal side. So if you look at either, let me take a fiscal decision, or let's take a monetary decision, or let's take a structural policy decision for the regulations, strengthen institutions. So combinations of those things. Remember I'm talking about the policy, what you got for do under financial programming. You get the policy choice, fiscal, monetary, you get intrinsic things to look at, and structural things to look at. So from there you take a possible choice, any of them options.
A billion. Forget your answer.
Yes.
Okay. Doctor, time don't catch we. What's in with viewership we expect perhaps next week?
Well, next week you can look at the capital account. See how that they can be adjusted. Or if there are any particular questions people like can get, you can send them to Star TV. We'll look at some questions that people like wouldn't want to ask. We can discuss and calabating. Well, ideally, as the message just now for that we bring to the common man, the concept says in a simple way. We want to get as much interaction with the common man in a very simple way. So that the man on the streets will understand, say, when they say exchange rates movement, so they're affecting them. They say terms of trade, so now this. They say maybe economic crisis, oh, now that. They say a trade deficit, oh, now this. So We want to make things very, very simple. And I think it's important for the economy to be informed, better informed. The better informed any economy is, the more prudent decisions and the more sensible decisions then the population able to make. But even the Bible says people perish for the lack of knowledge. We want to give knowledge to people then for free. So the economy will become stronger, people will become more informed, and we all will be happy ever after.
Well, I just want to inform we viewership for making understand say, the economic forum, the objective now for help the ordinary man for understand the things the way they happen at all times. And this guy for take a different turn, and Doc, I'm sure we get for the take the program outside of the studio. For instance, meeting students up campus like how you call it, Kennedy Building, or it could be Wisdom Tree. So we all can sit down, get an interactive forum with students for actually showcase and bring things them to the level where they understand. We can even choose for go place like Milton Madai College of Education. Say today we get the auditorium, just sit and talk with them. So as I say, these are the things we get for expect, because the objective here is now for make doctor tell people and way things the way they bother around the economy, for make it simplify them, make you within a house, you within a college, for make you understand. Even the ordinary person, I call them ordinary, not advisedly on the basis that you get people away day at the least bottom economy, like people away they do business at the market, for make themselves understand say how they own market business of buying and selling they contribute towards the economy.
Yeah.
Not so
That's a good one, yeah. I mean, like you don't mention I'll go on campus, but we can even go to the marketplace.
Yeah, the marketplace.
Yes, you go to side of the park then bus there. Just talk to people like we want travel. When they wait for them bus, we engage them on small, issues, the business when they do, how they impact the wider side, because then they are the macro level. How can they understand the micro level, make them understand the macro level. So we can go to school safe. So school picking secondary school. You see? So one cut across. I think it's important that we cut across. So the one day where they sell a market, the one day where they hold
And it's like you feel a touch about it.
Yes, we go to the
But then also then they add to the economy.
Yes, of course. You see, even the entertainment sector. You see, Nigeria was in the largest economy in Sierra Leone. When they're ready for upgrade and rebase their GDP, then say they forget the entertainment sector. Sorry. It was the largest economy in Africa.
In Africa.
Nigeria was the largest economy in Africa. It was South Africa. When they rebase the GDP, they include entertainment today. All of a sudden, Nigeria became the largest economy as far as GDP value is concerned. So we should not forget.
It overtakes South Africa.
Yes, we shouldn't forget the entertainment sector also.
Okay.
To go to the actors then, see the impact of what they do on the wider economy. We need to forget some statistics and maybe from wherever we can get them from.
The film industry.
See, yes, and see what's in their contribution. Someone go for being able to understand. I think the more we for get this discussion amongst ourselves as Sierra Leoneans, we get our own knowledge of the economy at the grassroots. On the other side, they manage use and they make too cut for. We just kind of as complete Sierra Leone. We don't understand the main policy, the indicators, we understand the methodology, we understand the theory behind it. They will still don't live inside this country. So man, they don't live inside the country, they understand their own way how to go about their business, but they don't understand the actual practical economic theory yet. So what we go do, we go take the economic theory and put down with the common sense. Let them understand the impact.
Okay.
So I believe it also help government for the government meet the overall objective. I mean, education not only in school, but we they meet us on the streets.
The informal sector.
The informal sector education. We will take 90 people and they discuss with them. And I think that we will increase the value of this program by going out there and meeting these people.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ekunda Walton Gilpin. You come to the studio today for teach people about this particular topic on the adjustment process. We normally countries adopt when they realize a shock. We go continue on this trend, as we say. We look forward for actually change the entire dimension of the program. We go feel belong and not say yes. Then TIA get a ripple effect on the economy. I want to thank you, Dr. Gilpin. And next week we look forward for come back with another aspect. Till then, me Nimna Abdul Rahman Kamara, and hopefully, perhaps immediately after the broadcast of the Commission of Inquiry, we will bring to them a repeat of what we will do today at the studio. Stay blessed and have a wonderful day.
The Economic Forum, a brand new program coming to you from Star Television every Sunday at 7 to 8 p.m. This is a program designed to demystify complex, topical, and confusing issues which trouble the minds of the masses and give headaches to the very top cadre of society. Star Television has identified the need for a comprehensive understanding and the need to create a platform for the ordinary man to understand complex concepts to do with the economy, monetary issues that impact our economic livelihood. Issues like how we can understand the impact of foreign inflation on our budgets. Remember, the better informed the public, the more prudent the decision the public would make into retirement. Join Abdul Rahman Kamara on Star Television, Channel 21, every Sunday at 7 to 8 p.m. with a team of experts on the program Economic Forum.